Welcome to the intro.
Intro? What?
Frenzy, how'd you like that Very Bad cover song?
Yeah, that was the Quiet Riot cover.
Come on, feel the noise.
Yeah, he was totally into it. I give him props for that.
He gets wild, wild, wild.
Yeah, he feels the noise, like all the noises. He feels them.
it deep in his loins.
Yep, all the way down.
The noise is in his loins.
Yep.
We're jamming out right here, right now, to a little bit of Color from his Be Love Not Fear album. This song is called I Got a Plan to Rule the World.
Yeah, he's gonna.
He's going to start it out with punching the president.
Yep.
Then he's going to bomb the moon. Holy shit.
That's crazy.
So this episode, we bring back a good friend, comedian Larry Venturino.
Yes, that was a great time.
Yes, Florida comedian, good friend of ours. He was one of our most earliest guests
Yeah.
that we've had on. Let me turn
Episode
this down
20.
a little bit. It's a little loud. There we go. We love Larry.
Yeah.
He's the first Larry who we've had on the show. We've had at least 3 now.
He's the original Larry.
Original Larry Bear.
Episode 20, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was episode 20 originally. So we have him back on. We talked about comedy, and he owns Think Fast Records, record label owner, so we talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about random shit, as we always do.
We talk about music, being a dad, like all the cool things.
Yeah. We got to thank our sponsors for this episode.
Yeah, Comics Watching Comics.
On Amazon Prime.
Seasons 1 through 5 are available now. Seasons 6 and 7 are hopefully coming very soon. Not hopefully. We don't hope. We make it happen.
We don't have a date yet, but stay tuned. Follow their social media to, get updates on when 6 and 7 are going to drop.
You'll be the first to know.
But send them some love. Watch that show. It is hilarious. Also, the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast, sponsored this episode.
Hosted by Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Paul.
2 New York area comedians talking sports.
Busting some balls, talking movies.
Yes, it's a good time.
Guys
They're on
stuff.
all the podcast streaming platforms. They're on all the social media. Go send them your love. And follow, subscribe.
Like I love it, want some more of it.
Yeah, sign on the dotted line. Give them a vial of your blood, whatever it takes.
Yeah, especially if you've got that rare blood type.
Yeah. All right, so we sit down with comedian and record label owner Larry Venturino, good friend, member of the SARGE Approved family.
Yes, check it out. Thanks for listening.
Enjoy.
Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
SARGE Approved.
Yeah.
Frenzy,
Yes, we have
who we got?
we got somebody really good that are excited to catch up with. We have comedian Larry Venturino, who is also a fan of hardcore punk music and
He's a record
of
label owner.
wrestling. He's got lots of things in his bag. How's it going, Larry?
Good. What's up, Sergeant Frenzy? How you guys doing?
We're good.
Happy to have you on, making your
Yeah.
triumphant return.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. This is awesome.
It's been too long.
It's been way too long.
I know.
But it's kind of cool that it's been that long because
Well, the podcast was a while ago that we did. Like you
Yes.
said, it was like a number 20, and now you're like 116. This is like 116, you said? Is that right?
I think so.
But we became, in my book, good friends, and we kind of stay in touch
yeah.
otherwise. So it's not like,
Right.
we fell off the earth and don't talk to each other at
No,
all.
yeah,
So
not
we
at
kinda-
all.
Yeah.
I'm following you guys, all the things that you guys do,
Yeah.
and so I feel like it hasn't been that long. So.
Yeah, that's probably why it doesn't feel like it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
Because we do stay in contact and stuff, and it's not like that we haven't spoken since.
Right,
Right.
and see what
December
each
of
other, what
2016.
everybody's got going on via in all the social media things.
Larry, you're coming to us from Florida, for our
Right.
listeners if you don't recall. One of a couple friends we have down there in Florida.
Yeah, wasn't around the last time that we talked, or I can't remember now. I feel like I should know the date when this happened. But there was a pretty bad hurricane, and it was in your neighborhood too. I remember you taking videos and driving around and showing
That was that
stuff.
long ago? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, there was I don't know. There was another bad hurricane within last September.
Okay.
And then I guess I'm kind of drawing a blank of the one that was coming. I think the one. Oh my god, I sound like an idiot right now. But I think the one around the time that we last did the podcast, I don't think my area wasn't that affected. But the one that came in
later,
September 2017, was very damaging to the area around me.
Yeah,
In fact,
I do
the eye of
remember
the
seeing a
storm
lot of
went
videos
over my house.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But I do remember seeing those videos, and I was like, "What? Is everybody okay?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Which hurricane?
Crazy.
Which hurricane was that?
This is Irma.
Irma.
The last one was Irma.
Okay.
That was the bad one?
Yeah, that was the bad one.
It's hard to keep track of all these hurricanes.
I know.
It seems like there's a lot of them lately.
And it seems like the ones that always have the kind of cool names, like you hear about them, they never do anything more.
What are the cool names?
I don't know. I just hear one and I'm like, oh, that's a cool hurricane name.
Like what?
I don't know.
They should name them after metal bands or something like that.
That'd be
make
cool.
It instead of just Hurricane Sally or whatever it is, let's Hurricane Death Machine or something like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. People would be like, remember back in 2019 when Metallica destroyed the East Coast?
Yeah, exactly. The hurricane would be way better than the band is now. So, it would be way more interesting to see them now.
They should have a nickname that stems from where they develop. So if it's like a South African hurricane, or depending on where in the ocean where they are, that becomes part of their nickname.
Yeah, but then you'd have social justice warriors being like, "That's racist to give a racial connotation to a hurricane."
It developed in your waters, so it's okay.
Yeah, but then be like, "You're associated."
If anything,
can you believe where we are? Can you believe where we are in society that we're worried about people calling the names of hurricanes racist? I don't know.
I know.
But you know it would happen if you called
bad.
if you called this hurricane Africa. Hurricane Africa came to the U.S. and destroyed the East Coast. There would be a bunch of social justice warriors fucking pissed off.
Yeah, but if it was a hurricane that originated near Jamaica or a country that smokes pot, you could call it Smoking Sally, and they'd be like, "Yeah, man, that's amazing!" They would like it.
Yeah,
Just
they would
depends.
say, "Oh, that's cool." That people would think that was cool, but yeah. Oh man, everyone's so touchy.
That's true.
It's got to be hard though, being a comedian too, and having the whole touchy, everyone being so touchy and kind of overreact about stuff and get emotional. They take it personally, where you're just dude, it's a joke.
That's one of the most annoying places for somebody to get upset about something that is said in the public. When a comedian tells a joke and somebody gets all triggered by it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that should be one of the last places for absolute free speech.
But people come to these shows and they're so uptight sometimes, and I do a lot of stuff where I talk about different race and things like that, and they don't give you a lot of crowds don't give you any leeway. I mean, I guess I don't know even what I'm really trying to say right now. It's just it's people are so afraid to laugh at things that are clearly jokes. That's on them though. But here's the thing, whether it's something that is touches upon race or is more a dirtier topic. I've been realizing, I get my material from stuff that I've witnessed and experienced in my life.
Right.
And the thing is, I'm not pulling this stuff out of my head I'm just made it up that no one's ever done this stuff before. So when you go to and have a crowd that's so uptight about something that might be a little bit dirtier, where I don't even use bad words or really vulgar terminology, but I didn't just pull that out of my head just being a complete pervert myself. It was people do this stuff. You know what I mean? This is stuff that happens all the time. And you remember Marv Albert, the NBA broadcaster?
Yeah,
when they found out that he was this clean cut NBA announcer, everyone, it was beloved, and then they found out he was into S&M.
Yeah,
stuff
like
that.
biting people and stuff.
People do crazy stuff behind the door. So the fact that they can't laugh at what goes on in this world is like, it's just hypocrisy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's don't take it so seriously. Like, it's just
Right.
That's one of the best
fun.
ways.
Like, let loose and have fun.
That's one of the best
okay.
ways to cope with, touchy or taboo subjects or tragic things that happen. Really, the bad, dark, negative things that happen in life. If you're able to joke and laugh about them, and everyone agrees that this is a joke, this is not this.
Right.
This comedian is not being literal right now. They're not doing a TED talk. They're fucking trying to make they're trying to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And so as long as everybody agrees that these are all jokes, this is a really goddamn good way to try to cope with something, the negative shit in life. If you can joke about that stuff and laugh about it.
Like Anthony, what's his name? Anthony
Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that dude is like the darkest comedian out there. I think he is fucking hilarious. I love all his jokes, but it's funny because like a lot of his jokes, I'll find myself laughing out loud at, and I like feel bad a little bit, like, oh my god, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with you. I hear you.
I think that he's really dark, but I also think he kind of throws in that, like, well, it's because I'm fucking hilarious and I'm amazing and I'm the best comedian out there and I make tons of money and you want to be like me. Like, he's kind of has that cocky little esque-ness to him.
The narcissistic. He's basically the Dexter of comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
He even kind of looks like Dexter
He has
a little
no
bit.
Fear.
He portrays the aura of a serial killer on stage telling jokes. A serial killer who's really good at telling jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, he talks so much shit about his girlfriend, and she still likes him. She's got to be pretty cool.
In comedy. That's not
to the extent that he does.
That's a good place to go if you're a comedian, talking shit about your wife.
Well, of course,
or girlfriend.
but he goes like more. But I'm just saying that she's a badass for she's cool with it. Why not?
Yeah, putting up with all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're jokes, and she obviously knows that they're just jokes.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So everyone else, just chill out.
Yeah.
Don't get all uptight.
Good. Yeah.
So what have you been doing since the last time we had you on? I know that you dropped an album.
Oh yeah, it's just like a digital EP.
EP.
That it's like obviously I'm not like a big name or have like the I don't have like the big money to do like a really great big album, whatever. And I just wanted to get something out to kind of showcase some of my jokes and some of my set that so that people that haven't seen me live can hear some of the stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
So I kind of just put out like a little digital EP of that. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
What was the difference between EP and LP again? I know we looked this up one time before.
Yeah, EP is like it's like a kind of like almost like usually around like 6 to 10 tracks, maybe like 6 to 8 tracks. Whereas an LP is like a full length record kind of thing. Like if you're thinking about it as like music, it would be like a regular 12, 13, 14 album, song album,
long play
like full length album that a band puts out.
Yeah, an EP is like 8 minutes on each side or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shorter.
So how long?
And I should know like the better terminology since I do own a record company. And
yeah,
I'm like
what the heck?
Pretty much fumbling all through the terminology, but
come on now,
you
Larry.
get the point.
Yeah, we get it.
So how long was that set then for that album?
Well, what I cut down, like the set that I had done, it was actually at one of the Dat fan shows that we did around that time, in April of 2017, and it was like March, April. I think it was April 1st I recorded this one. So the set was about 25 minutes that I had done, and so I kind of chopped it up a little bit and put like it comes to like around 11 minutes total, and so. Just wanted to get like a sample of what I do out into the, for people to listen to.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Have either of you heard about this audio clip that a robot supposedly is making called Yanny or Laurel, and it's kind of like that. Remember that whole dress thing back in a couple years ago, where it was like, is it blue or is it black, or is it whatever?
Yeah.
So So this thing is like a robot saying this like line, and no one can tell what it's saying, if it's saying Yanny or Laurel.
What? Yanny or Loyal? That seems completely opposite.
Yeah. And
So-
Yanny, Yanny.
Y-A-N. I'm going to look it up so we can play the clip. Yanny or Laurel? How do you spell Laurel?
Laurel is Laurel.
Yanny or
weird.
Laurel? Let's see here.
It's a robotic sound clip.
Okay, let's see.
Weird. Mm-hmm. You know, shouldn't that have happened like in the 80s with like the new wave? Now we're going back to robots, I guess. And like,
Yeah, it should have happened on like the speak and spell thing.
yeah,
You know, remember that? It was like the spelling
Yeah.
one, the reading one, the math one.
yeah.
Yanny or Laurel?
Just Google it.
Okay, here we go. Why is it?
And they're totally, they seem like they're unrelated words. Yanny, Laurel, like, they don't even have, the only thing they have in common is an A. That's it.
Okay, here
That's
we go.
weird.
Here it is.
Okay.
Are you gonna play it?
Okay, here we
Hopefully without ads.
Freaking idiot. Fat lard, come get some dinner.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Idiot.
go. What?
Tina, you fat lard, come get some
Okay,
dinner.
this is...
Tina, eat your food.
Obviously, that's like somebody fucking with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I just
not
went to
it.
Google and just typed in Yanny Laurel and it popped
I
up.
want to find the...
But somehow Sarge is on Napoleon Dynamite. How did that
Yeah.
happen?
Is this
It's a
it?
case. Do
So
you want me to
many
make you up
videos.
a quesadilla?
Laurel,
Is this it?
Laurel, 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 Laurel,
Laurel.
Laurel,
You're saying Laurel,
Laurel,
right?
Yeah.
Laurel, Laurel.
That's-
You. Did you hear Laurel?
Yeah.
They said both of them.
I didn't. I only heard one. Is that like?
Laurel,
I know. Oh, what?
Laurel,
Laurel.
Laurel, Laurel, Laurel.
Yeah. But in the beginning, they said Yanny.
No, they didn't. They
I,
said
I
Laurel.
didn't hear that at all.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not very loud. Let's see.
Go to NewYorkTimes.com.
Laurel,
Laurel.
Yeah.
Laurel, Laurel,
Did you hear that, Larry?
I just heard Laurel.
Yeah, me too.
Laurel, Laurel.
Sounds
I
like
don't
Laurel
know.
to me.
Go to Reddit. That's where it came from. Just to make
So
sure.
wait. So what is the point of this? Like what is this supposed to do then?
So apparently, some people hear the word Yanny in that audio
Yeah.
clip, and some people hear the word Laurel. Kind of like
Wow.
the blue gold dress thing. Right?
Yeah.
Fucking
Wow.
bullshit. Everyone's
So
here.
what happens if we don't? So what happens if we don't hear the other word? Is that? Am I gonna die? What's
Probably.
happening?
Probably.
Oh, okay, good.
All right, Frenzy, do you want to do paper, rock, scissors for who makes next cocktail?
You can.
Come on, paper, rock, scissors. Damn it.
You can. I don't know. It's weird. I don't. It totally depends, I think, on where you listen to it. But there's that whole that just isn't it funny how something so stupid can just be all over social media? Like everyone's talking about it.
Yeah,
What?
it's like engulfed in everyone's lives. Like takes over.
I know.
It's crazy.
Like, I'm guilty of looking up. Like I'll look on Facebook, like they always have the kind of news updates or whatever on the side.
Yeah.
And I'm looking right now, and that's the top trending number one topic.
Oh my god! And like, who came up with this? Like, I mean, I don't even know where that would come from. Like, who made this like experiment, basically?
Exactly.
Or, like, I don't.
We'll have to play. There's a video too of the second trending thing on Facebook is about a senior prank from Cumberland, Wisconsin.
Okay.
They executed this like end of the year prank, and the police department was like applauding it because it was so great.
Oh wow, that's good. Usually, like 9 people get arrested and like 6 people died or something. Usually.
There's so much blood.
Like the police department congratulated them, and it looks on it. I'm just looking at a little picture of it. It looks like they drove a Pontiac Grand Am through a building.
What? For a prank?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a shitty prank.
I don't know. It said hats off. Look at that.
How is that hats off? That's retarded. They're probably drunk. That probably wasn't even a prank.
It's not really
Yeah.
smashed. They made it look like it was smashed.
Oh,
And they were
really?
like freshmen, and they just crashed into the building. Oh, they did it. Okay.
Oh my god! Can I see that picture again?
Yeah, it's a black tarp, and they did some stuff, like
Whoa.
glued or painted some stuff over it to make it look like part of the bricks.
Half of a car they like attached to the side of the building to make it look like it was ran through.
So it looked like it was a
Wow.
car accident.
And they did a coyote and a roadrunner type fake hole in the wall.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah,
So
that
all the
looks
ambulances
real.
responded, and then there was an actual real crash, and then there wasn't enough people to respond.
Yeah.
I saw that
Good
picture. I'm
prank,
like,
yeah.
that's a
Good one.
shitty prank. They
It
just
was-
drove a car through the wall.
Yeah.
They're just dicks.
That's
not
why
a
I
good
said
prank.
it. It was pulled off with a black tarp, bricks, a junk car, and tape. That's it.
Wow.
And they
Jesus, sounds
posted
like
it on
MacGyver.
Facebook. Yeah.
Impressive.
It's like-
Man, can you imagine whatever faculty member first arrived on that scene to see that in the morning? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, they posted on Facebook, the school district did. It said graduation week, nice work seniors. You had everyone a little nervous this morning. The police department is saying the seniors pranks was one of the best senior pranks that Cumberland High School has ever seen.
Impressive. Okay.
Pretty good.
Hats off to those fucking kids. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty ingenious. Huh.
Jeez.
So you're still at the Laugh-In Comedy Club
Cafe.
Comedy Cafe
Mhm.
in
Cafe.
Florida, right? And you're the one that puts together the shows, aren't you? You host a show?
Well, no. So Brian Corian is the owner, and he took it over like probably a little over 2 years ago, and he's done like fantastic things. Like he kind of redesigned the club, and it looks so beautiful right now. Like for people that were ever in the Fort Myers area and saw the club before, it's been there for so long, and then when he took over, he's done so many renovations to make the club like awesome. Like people that have been there in the past that go back are like, oh my god, look what they did to this place. It's beautiful. But Brian and I are good friends, and I always love to promote his club. I'm a regular there all the time. He's given me a lot of opportunities to feature, host, and run my own show there sometimes. And so I wanted to help him bring some big names to Fort Myers. Comics that I liked that hadn't been in the area before.
Yeah.
So I kind of help him bring in some acts. And then I book like a showcase like once a month, and then I perform there whenever I feature there like every few months as well. And if you hear that noise, that's my dog like banging against the the door. He's like trying to scratch and dig a hole, and then he's banging all over the place. So sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Animals are
But yeah.
crazy.
I have like this little cute basset hound. He's actually getting really old, but he's cute. But so anyway, so I've helped him kind of bring in some different names. Like we just well, first, obviously our mutual friend Dat Fan. Like I helped bring him to town back. For the first time, it was soon after we did this podcast.
Yeah.
So it was like March, April of 2017, and now he's coming back, and he's been back once already, and then he's coming back again in December and whatnot. We just I helped him get Steve Byrne. You guys are familiar with Steve Byrne?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, one of the best comics out there right now.
Yep.
Over the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
Judy Gold is coming. She's like a legend. And Henry Cho. A lot of different comics that had never been to the area before have been booked there. So there's a lot of exciting things going on with the club.
That's awesome.
How many seats is that club?
It's like a 200-seat venue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's like just
it's
right.
really cool. Yeah.
That's just right. That's a pretty good sized crowd, but probably just intimate enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah, it's the best club in Southwest Florida, that's for sure. Like it's so much fun. It's been there a long time. You get a lot of regulars and just people that are actual comedy fans that just want to see a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had there's another Florida comedian, gotta know that
Yep.
does laugh in sometimes.
Dean Napolitano.
Yeah,
Dean,
I was
yeah.
going to say Dean, yeah.
Dean Napolitano.
He's funny.
That fucker's hilarious.
Yeah, people love him in Florida. Like, well, I mean, everywhere he goes, I'm sure people love him. He's one of the best. So, but yeah, he comes to Laugh-In, like usually like once or twice a year.
Okay.
But he's all over the place. Like he's he's like he's at every club that people love him.
Yeah, he's funny.
How that shit he does with his dad.
Yeah, I love it. I'm trying to find, I want to say this was last spring/summer. I'm trying to find the picture, but it was the picture on the beach with the kind of pinwheels, that charity.
Oh, yeah.
When was that?
Well,
What
it's
time
every
is it?
April we actually
Every
do it.
April.
So
Did you do it again this year?
yeah, we did. So April is Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Yes.
And so I work for an agency that is in that field, and basically we go down to a local beach in like beautiful Naples, Florida, and we put over 1,000 pinwheels in the sand to represent a lot of the children that are seen for issues of abuse and neglect. And so it kind of is eye-opening because if you've ever been to Naples, and I think you have. I think you guys have been in that area before, if I remember you said that. Maybe
Yes,
not. Maybe I'm
I
getting
have.
confused. Yeah,
Yep.
Marco Island you've been to, right?
Yep, and Naples.
So, yeah. So obviously it's really beautiful. They have people from all over the world coming to visit there, and so it's like they call it like a paradise. But people don't understand that, like in that community, there's tons of kids who are vulnerable and being abused and neglected, and so we kind of do that to help spread awareness that this is actually going on, away from the beaches,
Yeah.
Sometimes on the beach, who knows, but like just like in that community, like so that people don't like turn a blind eye to what's going on.
Yeah, it's not all rainbows and unicorns all the time.
What?
Yeah.
Why is there so much abuse in that area?
Well, it's not just that area; it's everywhere. It's in your town. It's all over. It doesn't matter where it is. There's stuff going on, and it kind of the point of that's a really good point that you bring up. So these people come from to the beach and to Naples, and they're from Minnesota, or they're from Germany, or they're from Rhode Island, or wherever they're from, and it kind of says, this is happening in every community, but this is what we're doing here to kind of spread awareness of this.
Okay.
Yeah, just make people aware of it, and hopefully they choose to maybe do something about it, or facilitate something to do about it. But at least making
absolutely.
people aware is a huge thing.
It's too easy for people to have kids.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Well, yeah.
It's too easy for like the wrong people to have children.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And then people are struggling and they can't have children of their own, and then like these other people are just popping them out, and
it's ridiculous.
And they
I know.
don't do anything to take care of them.
Like that movie. What is it called? Idiocracy.
Yeah.
You see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. You got these people that most definitely should not be parents, should not be in charge of multiple precious lives, pushing out like 5-6 kids. And then you got a couple who's like, they're stable, they both got good jobs, and they really want to have children, and they're all prepared and ready and planning for it. And,
Can't.
they're physically unable, and they have to, do it in a lab or something, or adopt.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. There's too many shitty parents out there.
Yeah, and that's they go through such a stressful time trying to have kids. It's unbelievable, and people like most things, people take what they have for granted, and just but obviously it affects another human being. So they don't care that they. Well, I mean, I guess they do care sometimes, but they just don't have the tools to actually, do what's right by their own flesh and blood, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a lot of time.
Do you hear a heavy breathing?
I do.
Over the
I
mic
hear
by
a
any
dog
chance?
breathing, being like, either wants to go eat food.
Or it's me.
No, it's the basset hound.
Yeah, that's my basset hound. Like, he's hanging out next to me. I apologize. I should have.
No, it's fine.
I'm trying not to have him wake up my kids and stuff like that. So
no, it's fine.
And then but he's
how old is
hanging
he?
out and he's panting right now, right next to the mic.
How old is he?
He's gonna be 14 in August.
Oh wow,
so.
that's
Holy
good.
shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it
he's
basset
awesome.
hounds that have that super loud, just
Bellowing kind of
bark?
Well, he definitely has a howl, but here's the thing: this dog has never made a sound. Like, he never did that. Very, very rare occasions. And he was about, I don't know, what year was it? 2009. I adopted a beagle from the Humane Society. And
Oh, you like the vocal
here I had
ones.
a beautiful dog. So I had a beagle and a basset hound, two of the loudest dogs.
Yeah.
And neither one of them made a sound.
Weird.
At all. It was really weird. But the beagle passed away a couple of years ago. Actually, tomorrow's his birthday. He would have been 12, but he since he's been gone, now my basset hound howls at whenever we're eating or whatever. He thinks he's not going to get anything when basically he gets every leftover in this house. It goes to his dog, and he's nuts and barks and howls like crazy at dinner time.
Funny.
So he's found his voice after 13 years.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what he gets to do. He's in his golden years. He gets to be the senior and do whatever he wants to.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
He's like your typical old man.
Yeah.
He goes and does whatever he wants. He doesn't care.
Yep.
And he'll yell at you if he wants to.
Yep. I just put to sleep my 12-year-old dog a couple months ago, and it was like that towards the end for her too. Bitch, feed me what you want. Nope, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
I want you to feed me people food, and I'm gonna pee wherever
Yeah.
I want, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
sleep all day, and I don't care.
All she would eat is people food. Is just
lunch meat, and I used to make a different meal for her on the regular, every day, just to get her to eat.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
She was all about.
Oh,
she wanted it to taste good. She didn't give a fuck about anything else. Than I want dollar menu McDonald's burgers, shit like that.
Yeah, but
She was milking that shit.
yeah, she was. And her last day when made the decision to put her to sleep, fed her a double cheeseburger
Yeah.
from McDonald's
Oh,
and a ice cream cone.
It's a good last meal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Especially
nice.
for a
So it
dog.
was good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And
that's really nice of you guys. Also very sad, but
it's very
that's
sad, yeah.
awesome.
But she also, I ended up there. I don't know if there's a service in Florida or not, but they have this service in Minnesota where a veterinarian will come to your house and do it at your house.
Oh,
So it's not.
I don't know. They probably do, but
They
I
probably
haven't
do.
heard of that. I had taken him to my beagle to the vet because
Yeah.
he wasn't doing well. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have to look into that, but
If it's possible, when the time comes, it's amazing. It's honestly
it went so
Yeah.
smooth.
you can't picture it being any better. She was just sleeping in her bed, it was all good.
Yeah, and the lady was
Oh.
the lady was awesome.
Yeah.
She was, she
was an animal lover. She's in the right position.
Super understanding and nice and sweet the whole time, and everything went smooth without a hitch. It was
Yeah, and then sent me
the
a
best.
card afterwards,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
handwritten.
handwritten card that was 2 paragraphs long, where she included stories that I told her about the dog, my dog,
Oh, that's
memories
great, I
and
see.
stuff. And I was like, she remembered all that stuff. That's crazy.
I hope you gave her 5
you
stars
found
on
that-
Yelp.
That's a good
I
bet.
did.
I remember getting a card for when my beagle, his name was Hunter. When he passed away, they sent a card and kind of reassured me that it was the right decision and all these things. I thought that was going above and beyond. I thought that was really nice. So
Yeah. Well, it's hard because you feel for me, it was I held on longer than I should have. And then also, you feel guilty because I was oh, you're going to get McDonald's to eat soon. And then in 2 hours, you're going to be dead. I'm going to kill you. It was just a weird, you know what I mean? It's different. It's just a weird thing that
Yeah.
a lot of people
Well,
have to
it's
go
sad.
through.
It's
And
sad
it's sad.
because dogs are way better than people. They're way cooler. I'd rather hang out with my dog any day.
Well, yeah.
than most
One of
people, but,
my favorite quotes is "Be the person that your dog thinks you are,"
oh yeah,
because your
That's
dog
impossible.
loves you.
That's impossible. Your dog thinks you're a superhero.
Yeah, I know. So
You can't be a
just
superhero.
you can't be one, but like try to be one. Like try to be that good person.
I get the idea. It's kind of like it's a motivational type thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
ultimately impossible. Like your
Yeah,
dog
kinda-
thinks you're like a god from another planet. your dog
yeah, like
thinks
those
you're Thor.
like those motivational Air Jordan posters that
Yeah.
hang
Yeah.
on your office wall. Like, yeah, I can do anything. No, you can't. You're not Michael Jordan.
Right.
The one with the bald eagle, it's like soar like an eagle.
Yeah,
Or some bullshit.
God.
That's funny.
Oh, like,
We should get some of those, like framed.
Yeah.
Some of those old school, motivational posters you might see in an office.
Like with the volcano, and it's like fire.
no,
Yeah.
nowadays, you just have to have like these
Fire?
reality posters of like,
Okay.
yeah, you can probably do something pretty decent. You
I
know,
thought
that's that's what it says. Like, people.
Where did you used
get
to
irrational
buy
think they can? What are you gonna say?
those old motivational posters, like those business posters? Where did people even buy those from?
like they got
I
one
don't
with
know.
Like one is called Service, and it's got a waterfall.
they got one with
Yeah.
a snail on the edge of a leaf, looking over the edge, and it says optimism.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
There's one with three wolves that says teamwork.
Oh,
I mean, they're
yeah, I
about
remember that one.
they're about to
the wolves with
murder.
the teamwork.
They're about to
But there was
murder
like
an
only-
elk.
But there was only one wolf, wasn't there? So it was like, where did the rest of the pack go?
No, this has 3 of them, and they're all
Oh, it does. Okay. Phew.
strategizing about how they're going to murder and devour an elk in about 5
Oh, yeah.
minutes. Come on, guys, teamwork.
Yeah, and then there's
Yeah.
the butterfly one that says change. The secret
Yeah.
of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but for building the new. Socrates. And then people just had all these different ones in their offices, like 1985.
There's one of a ship.
Yeah.
There's one of this like big ship sinking in the ocean. And it says mistakes.
Titanic. Mistakes?
Titanic.
That's not
That
a
was just about
real
movie,
one.
though, I think.
I don't think it's the Titanic.
They should make a Titanic one with like a door floating
They're
on
so
it and being like,
stupid.
weight loss. 2 of you can fit on a door at the same time. No one has to die.
There's, Do you think those things actually work? Yeah, here's one with the eagle, the bald eagle, and it
Yeah.
says dream big.
Dream big.
Dream big.
Oh, my bald eagle says excellence.
Really?
Yeah, they're different. I
Bald
guess.
Bald eagles don't even dream big. Like, what do? They just like
No.
they're up there and then they go and get a muskrat or whatever
They're
they
fucking dinosaurs.
pluck off the land.
Muskrats.
I mean, they don't even go after a lion. Then, if you're dreaming big, bald eagle,
Right?
go after a lion or something.
Yeah, a female one at that.
Yeah,
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 those
there you
females are
go.
nasty.
Yeah, I
we
don't
live
know.
in such like I was talking about this the other day. Like these posters and stuff like that. They all came out when we were younger, right? And like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all like for like people that are in their like 20s, 30s, 40s that all thought parents told them that they were special growing up, like, and everything. So they had like this warped sense of what the real world is like, and they all. I know this kind of like not motivating what I'm saying right now, but it's like, people like never learn to cope with the fact that maybe they're not like you're not climbing Mount Everest special. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone is like that. Just just be
Yeah.
rational and go for like set realistic goals.
That's the thing.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, anybody, if they actually put their mind to it and they have the drive and motivation, they can do, whatever it is they want to do in life.
Right.
But the majority of people aren't going to have that drive and motivation. And if you keep telling them that they're going to be amazing and they're wonderful and nothing they do ever fails, then they're just going to end up being a douchebag and fuck a lot of things up.
Yeah.
right.
There's a lot of duds.
Participation trophies that they got, all the participation trophies they got, they go and they cry
I
over them.
know.
Like, I thought these were real. I thought this meant something.
Right?
No,
So
not much.
tell us about Think Fast Records. What's going on with that?
So we started in 2001, so we're still around with the huge changes, obviously, in the music industry that there is, but, we had like this niche of the fact that we put out punk and hardcore music, and over the last few years, we've also helped, we put out some more like metalish records as well,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think is too far away from the punk and hardcore genre basically. But music industry's changed a lot over the years, and so basically what we do, we put out vinyl releases,
Yeah.
which is pretty much that's what that's back. I think we talked about that before about you could put out a CD, but people buy a CD. If they do buy the CD, they rip it onto their iPod and then they discard the CD.
Yeah.
Or they just download the digital version anyway. Well, with like punk and hardcore music and metal, people like to collect a physical copy of a record. So we continue to put out vinyl, and so they have a physical copy, and then we include like a digital copy with it, so they can download it for their iPod. But they also have the physical copy because fans of like metal, punk, hardcore, whatever, they get it because the music, they want to see the lyrics, they want to see the artwork that's done by people like them that are independent artists that are trying to that they've designed the cover of a record and stuff like that, so that it's meaningful. It's more of like a DIY kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not like Britney Spears or One Direction fans, you know what I mean, that don't really care about the liner notes in a record. They're just there to listen to the flavor of the week song or whatever it is, and then download another one later. But for this type of music, people really want to have that physical copy. It's cool.
They're invested in it. They're invested in the band and the musicians. Mm-hmm.
They collect different colors of vinyl and things like that.
Well, there's definitely been a resurgence a little bit of. You have the old school guys who have an appreciation for vinyl that they grew up with, that they're used to,
right?
And then I think there has been a little bit of a resurgence. It seems like with the younger generations, the millennials and whatnot, that see the value and the nostalgia in vinyl. Though, the people who like truly appreciate that shit, old school minds, and because I think the majority of people, if they're not buying CDs very often.
Right.
The majority of people are, like you said, getting it digitally, and most people, I think, probably listen to music on their phone.
Right.
Usually.
Even over an iPod or anything like that. It's usually people's phones because it's just so readily available. But you have those true connoisseurs of music that still collect vinyl, and I think probably more than it has been in. It's got to be years. When did vinyl start going out of style?
I don't
probably
90s.
Probably
no.
Maybe I was just about to say like the 90s for most types of music. But again, like
late 80s,
like the music that we put out, it has stayed consistent throughout the whole time. So even when it disappeared, vinyl was still a huge deal for punk and hardcore music.
Okay.
In fact, like it's really weird. Like there's some I don't know how familiar you guys are with that type of music, but some of the bands that like our regular friends, like your friends that you go to work with or whoever, would never be into this band, like whatever band it was, but within this subculture of music, a record, like a vinyl record that's on a certain color of vinyl, can go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. To like people will spend like a month's paycheck to buy a record of a band that for the majority of people on this earth nobody cares about. But it's so meaningful to these people in this certain subculture that they'll pay hundreds of dollars for a record that otherwise if you saw it at a store, like most people wouldn't pay $1 because they wouldn't be familiar with it. Not to say that the music's not good, it's just like it's not like the mainstream music that most people know.
Right. Well, the fact that it's on vinyl and that has that kind of nostalgia added to it, that it's that old technology, that I think gives it that added worth, because nobody's gonna buy a CD at auction. Nobody's gonna buy a CD at auction for thousands of dollars or whatever. Like somebody might pay for some rare vinyl record. let's say an auction or something like that. No one's buying a CD.
Right.
Maybe hundreds of years from now, maybe like 50, 60 years from now, a CD might actually have some value. There might be some like rare CDs out there or something, but I don't know. Maybe not. And after that, I mean, because you don't see people paying a bunch of money for an old cassette tape, right? That's not really
not typically. Cassette tapes actually, that's weird you say that, because cassettes are actually slowly making their way back for some
I think cassette
reason.
tapes are amazing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love them.
Again, like
can record
punk and
on
hardcore
them.
music, the people are making cassettes. My company, we haven't gone to the cassettes. I don't really have any interest in doing that. It's more of just literally just making a collector's item.
Yeah.
That's basically what the route that people take by making them.
That's crazy.
But they're so difficult. Like, at least a record, if you're playing vinyl, you can move the needle or whatever. But cassette, like, you're rewinding to like some weird part of the song or whatever, and then the tape gets stuck, and you have to use a pencil to roll it in. You remember all that?
But
right?
how does that work
with
how does that work with a record? Because I've never owned a record player. I don't think I've ever played a record
Never
myself.
had a Michael Jackson record player?
No.
Oh, that's sad.
How does that work? Like, you can't skip to the next song with a record player, right?
You
you
can with
well,
the
you
needle.
can. You have to manually do it.
And you
But
have to
how do
know,
you
like,
know?
on the... Well, you just listen to the record and you see where the needle is, and you know, like, if you listen to an album over and over and over again,
But
you
you're
can
not going to
see
get
where
the exact spot, are you?
You
Like,
can.
right
Yeah.
If you listen
Yeah,
to...
absolutely.
Yeah,
What?
well, you have to visually see it.
Really? I'm just
And
not
hear
familiar
it.
with records. The idea of it sounds good. Like, everyone says that the sound is so much more crisp and
Yeah, it's
raw and
cool.
shit, but
Well, then there's the whole 8-track thing, too, which is more like a cartridge.
Yeah, that's like the Atari of
Well,
musical.
Can you guys guess when the first? It's not music. I'm not going to say that, but the first attempted recording of something, of sound, I guess you could say.
Oh God!
When
probably,
that happened?
probably like 1700s or something.
Later than that.
1800s, 1872.
1912.
1860.
Oh, I was close. 12 years off. Huh.
But then after that, it just blew up.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
remember they had,
every
like, the
year,
phone-
it was all coming out with new technology.
They had like the phonograph and shit like that.
Yeah, they had the Ediphone, the dictaphone, the wire recording,
The dick phone.
the Edison gold molded record, the gramophone.
All right, I gotta
like
pee.
so much stuff.
And then it's your turn for cocktails, Frenzy.
I don't like that idea really, but okay. Do you remember the first? Okay, I know that you're a vinyl guy, so I guess it doesn't matter what platform it was released on or how you bought it. But do you remember the first album that you ever purchased or had purchased for you that you were just like,
Yes.
you didn't care about? Like, they maybe had one or two good songs, but you just listened to that over and over and over again.
Well, the first I know exactly where I was, what it was, and who bought it for me, everything, and it had way more than one or two good songs.
Yeah.
I was 6 years old.
Yes.
And my mom drove me to a store called Strawberries. It was in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Okay.
I was 6 years old, and she brought me there to buy Van Halen 1984.
Oh.
And I was 6. It came out in 1984. That's when it came out. And I remember, I don't know, I'm pretty proud of myself that at 6 years old, that's the kind of the record that I wanted. It was actually a cassette that we bought.
Yeah.
And I remember bringing it up to the counter, and my mom looked at the cover with the baby smoking, and she's like, "I'm buying this for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, just please buy it, whatever." But I mean, that album has so many good songs on it, from Jump, Hot for Teacher, Panama, all those songs. So that was the first one I ever had purchased for me, basically.
Okay. That's awesome. That's a good one.
What about you?
I'm trying to look up the name of the album because I don't remember, and I'm ashamed that I don't. But it was the Beach Boys, and it was the Endless Summer cassette tape.
Oh, that's good.
I can buy it now for $5 with $2.66 shipping, but it has a lot of good ones on it.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't know why it was the Beach Boys. I think it was just that was like an okay thing for me to listen to back then. But my dad always
Right.
listened to the radio in the car, and so I'm a total like 80s, 90s like kind of rock chick, like Steve Winwood, totally my jam.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That I don't know, Phil Collins, Genesis, like all that stuff, like total nerdy, whatever. But I love all that stuff.
Another interesting thing, like I was at work the other day and we were talking about the first videos that were played like on MTV.
Yeah, VH1.
Yeah, and like if you look at the list of like the first like 100 or so, it's really interesting. There's some songs that are like, oh, cool, like, yeah, I remember that. Some songs like I have no idea what they were. They played a lot of Iron Maiden, which was really weird. I didn't know that. It was like it was a lot of Iron Maiden, REO Speedwagon, Phil Collins, Rod Stewart, if I remember.
Pat Benatar.
Stuff like that, yeah. Pat Benatar, I think was the second song,
Phil
Yeah.
Collins.
Yeah, Phil Collins. Tom Petty.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Stevie
there's a
Nicks.
lot
I
of Iron
remember
Maiden.
the Stevie Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Yeah.
It was that
Fleetwood
song they played a lot
Mac.
of.
Stevie Nicks is a badass chick.
Jerry Rafferty,
Yeah.
he's the one that sings he says woman, he's like, woman, right down the line. Remember that song?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, he's
Sing it-
on there.
Sing it again.
No.
Come on, sing it again.
It's got like the twangy like beow, beow, beow.
I think you got to sing it.
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
You should probably sing it.
No.
Well, I remember like hearing about MTV. Like someone's like, oh, there's a station that plays, or a TV station that plays like music videos, and like the song that I started watching MTV because I was like, there was one song that I had to see the video for,
Yeah.
and that was Rock of Ages by Def Leppard. And I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
I watched it. It felt like a year that I watched MTV like every day to try to see that video, and it finally came on. I was like super psyched.
That's awesome.
But I was like a huge Def Leppard fan when I was little. So
I saw Def Leppard like 2 years ago at the Minnesota State Fair, and they
nice.
Styx and Tesla opened for them.
Styx is
I
still
remember
alive?
that tour. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
God, how long has Styx been around?
Forever. Def Leppard
Yeah.
has the. Do you know what's special about Def Leppard? Besides that they're awesome.
What did they sing?
Their drummer.
What songs did they have?
Pour
They
some
have
sugar on
Pour Some
me.
Sugar
Oh,
on
is he
Me.
the dude with
Hysteria.
one arm?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one-armed drummer?
The arm.
What did they pour some sugar on me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Did you hear that?
That was like a.
That was my dog. He like. I'm sorry to bring up my dog again, but he does that like an old man. It's crazy. Okay.
That's okay. He's old.
He does sound like an old
He's
man.
cute. We don't mind. So weird. And then, do you remember? It was so funny because actually, Sarge and I were talking about like music videos a couple weeks ago, and then we brought up a pop-up video where it would like tell you about the video, and they
Pop-up
actually rented
video.
this studio for $700 for a month.
Right.
Or Janet Jackson had her mustache bleached over there before the video started. Like just random facts, and you're like, "That's awesome."
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like music is. I always equate kind of comedy to music because you're gonna always have fans of all different kinds.
Right. Absolutely.
People react to it differently, and it's cool because it's all unique. And I don't know, music's great.
I had a show like one time where, I think actually, I think it was the first Dat Fan shows when he came here again, and we had like this show. It was like the late show on like a Saturday night or something like that. And after the show, people were filing out, and this girl came up to us and gave each of us a picture of one of our jokes. Like she drew, while each of us were on stage, a picture that made her think of or like represented one of our jokes.
really,
And gave us like it was like I've never had that happen to me before.
Really?
That's
It was
cool.
so weird, but it was like really cool. Like
So you get a picture?
and I still have it. I love it. I think it's really cool. She sat there in the back of the room while she was watching us and just drew pictures of her like favorite joke that we did.
Crazy.
So-
That's cool.
What was the picture of? What was the joke?
I do a joke about a singles cruise, and basically mention how it's basically if you go on a singles cruise, it's like you have 2,000 horny, desperate singles gathered together on one gigantic vessel, and it becomes a floating petri dish, basically, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, one evening my waiter asked if I'd like to try crabs. I said, sure, why not? He's like, okay, I'll send a drink over to the blonde girl at table 4. That should get the ball rolling, right? So, she drew a picture of a crab on a boat for me. So that was kind of cool.
Nice. You should frame that shit. Put it up in your office.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
Was she actually a good artist? Could she draw decent?
Yeah, she did a good job. Yeah.
It's like all crayon and stick figures.
Yeah.
No,
it was all pen. It was like in pen, but it was like really well done.
She was committed. You use pen.
Yeah.
You're committed.
There's no erasing that.
Nope.
They did.
No.
There was a time where they did make erasable pens. They were black. The whole thing was black, and then the eraser was at the top of the cap, and it just did not do well. Like erasers in general don't do well.
Apparently, you can, if you want to erase pen, you can write over the pen with pencil, and then erase the pencil, and it'll take up the pen too. I've heard that. I haven't attempted it yet, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah. I remember.
If you do, please be careful. That sounds crazy.
It does sound kind of crazy. I remember in high school when you actually had to pay for books that you didn't return at the end of your senior year. You would check out a book. I remember my girlfriend, she had a book. It was like a calculus book, and she signed it out, and she lost it. And then they were like, "You owe $25," and she was like, "Shit," because that was in '97. And she didn't have a job. She was like, I don't know, I'm going to pay for this. And I was like, actually, I've somehow came into contact with this calculus book, and I don't even know how I did, but I didn't sign it out. So let's just razor blade off the last signature, and then we'll sand it down with some sandpaper, and then we'll write your name in there and the date, and then you could just turn that in. And they were like, yep, sweet, perfect, you brought it back. And so we did, and it worked.
Wow, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Criminal.
I know. Well, I was just trying to be like, dude, we don't need to pay. You're making us learn this math. Like, we shouldn't have to pay for it, too.
Textbooks are insanely expensive.
Yeah. And
it's a crime.
It is. And then they have the whole, you can sell them back thing, and it's like, yep, they're worth a quarter of what you paid for it. Yeah. If that.
You have to buy these books. They're so important to have for your class. Oh, they're not worth anything. We changed one word in this series, so we're going to do all new books next year, so this one's worth nothing.
Yep, and the new book price is going to be $250 for one book. Enjoy that.
How much, Larry, how much have you dealt with hecklers in your comedy career? I always like hearing heckler stories.
I'm going to jinx myself, but pretty lucky that, I haven't had too many bad incidents at all. I had one. I remember Fort Lauderdale. I was at a show at the Fort Lauderdale Improv, and some lady yelled out that I was an asshole.
What?
Why?
Because I guess again, I was doing jokes. I was talking about my kids and how they're. I have 2 Hispanic kids that I adopted, and I joke about that, and some of it's kind of race related, and it's totally in good fun, and they're my kids, and it's their only jokes that whatever, and apparently she didn't take kindly to what I was saying, and so she yelled out, "You're an asshole," and I just said thank you.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Plus, I've seen pictures of you and those 2, and you guys are so cute together. They're such
thank
cuties.
you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're adorable. I love them. They put me through hell a lot, and so that's my therapy is by going and making fun of them on stage.
Yeah,
so,
you got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're allowed to. You're their father.
Yeah, absolutely.
I make fun of my kid all the time, usually to his face, or I talk smack about him right in front of his
boys,
face.
I love you. I'm your father. You're my life. But I put a roof over your head. I give you a good life. I get to crack some jokes about you on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the trade-off.
It's all in the paperwork. I have it right here. I was allowed to do this.
It's approved. It's good. No worries.
Yeah. Oh my god. So but I haven't had any really bad bad like incidents. Like, right now I feature, for the most part, and it's kind of like a cushy, time in a comedy show. Like, you have a kind of a sweet spot. You have the headliner who, goes up there, and then, now people are really drunk. And, obviously they're the person that people came to see, but now people are really drunk, and then, halfway through their set, people are getting the bill, and they're pissed off about the bill that they're getting, and, who's going to pay the bill and what the tip to leave and everything. So they have to fight through all that. They have to be, the things that they pull off for a great headlining set. So the people are drunk and talk to them more. We get a lot of talkers for some reason. Why do people think that the crowd wants to hear you? You know what I mean? Like, talk to a comedian all
amazing.
the time.
It's just amazing. It's that liquid courage.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I know, like, you probably had, like, out of 116 podcasts, you probably had half of them might have comedians say the same thing, but you have those people that come up to you after, oh, here's a joke for you, you can use this one. I'll pass. Yeah.
It's kind of strange though, because I know comedians don't like having to deal with that section of the night when the check drop. Right. But that takes place while the headliner is wrapping up his set. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of strange that you wouldn't have, like, maybe have the feature come back on for another 5 minutes or something, or somebody else come on, another opener type comedian call in an ender, and have them do a last 5 minutes during the check drop, so the comedian can go out, the headliner can go out with a bang. Yeah, there totally should be. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I mean, because it can get kind of rough.
And then the ender gets the opportunity to, like, maybe become an opener or a host or maybe a feature someday or whatever. But it gives them
throw
experience.
That heel part of the loaf of bread at the end of a night of comedy.
Right.
So here's something that I think is super crazy: is if you want to go pay to go see a band. Like, let's say it's Def Leppard or Metallica or Green Day or whoever it is. You have to pay literally an arm and a leg just to go to the concert.
Literally an arm and a leg?
Yeah, like, you literally have to cut off your arm at the elbow.
That doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah, I know.
There's nobody I'm going to go see if I have to give up an arm and a leg.
But it's a chunk of your bank account to go see bands nowadays. Where I feel like, I don't know, I'm old, but $200 to go see a band, or $150 or whatever it is, that's not okay.
Unless it's like a festival weekend and it costs $200.
Well, unless you're at Coachella for 2 weekends in a row, but, like, no.
Yeah. But then you have to see Beyonce and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's weird. And then all these other posers that are dressed up like, oh, I like music. Do you really?
Yeah. You see that video online? Somebody posted they were walking through the crowds at Coachella, and, like, everybody was on their cell phone. That's all
they don't care.
It was just everybody.
They were just pretend. They were just, like, wanting to let everybody know that they were at Coachella.
Yeah, it was just basically everyone Instagramming, and
they don't care that they were there
and whatever. It's just, here I am at Coachella. Literally, like, everyone in the crowd that this dude walked by was on their phone, posting shit to social media or taking photos or selfies or whatever. It was hilarious, and I don't even know if it's true. I haven't, like, verified it. I just saw it.
So now I'm totally going to be on a different subject. So the first year of Coachella, can you guess what it is, Larry? The first year they did it?
I'm not sure if I even understand what Coachella is exactly. It's like
it's a music festival.
Music festival.
2004, I'll say.
Nope. Later. Or earlier, sorry.
It's pretty huge. It's a pretty
99?
big thing.
99, yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was the inaugural one, and it was, the headliners were Beck, Chemical Brothers, Tool, Morrissey, and Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, okay. I like Morrissey.
That's a cornucopia of different genres, huh?
There's a lot of them, yeah.
What happened to Beck? Is he still alive? Isn't he a Scientologist?
Beck?
Is he really?
I think he is.
I want to say maybe.
He was never my thing. I never really liked Beck.
He had like one good song.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a big, like, I love the 90s as well. Like, I love bands in the 90s.
Like who?
In fact, I bought one of my favorite bands of all time is from like a classic 90s band. And I actually bought tickets for, I'm going to bring my kids to see them. Do you remember the band Live?
Yeah, that was my first concert ever
Oh yeah, what do they sing?
Oh,
in Wisconsin.
they had a bunch of songs.
Lightning Crashes.
Uh,
I saw
yeah.
Live with...
I Alone.
can you sing? Can you sing one of their songs,
yeah.
Frenzy? Right?
Well, no,
okay.
actually, that was my second concert. My first concert was
What's
in
one of
Kids
the
on the
songs they
Block.
sing? Can you sing part of
Lightning
it?
Crashes.
Well, how's it go?
It's kind of a sad one.
How does it go?
That's the sad
I'm
one.
not
That was like
gonna
their
sing
big
Why?
sad song.
Because. And then they opened, or PJ Harvey was the opener.
Oh, I remember. I was at that tour. I saw
and
that tour.
Veruca Salt.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was I saw them a bunch of times. I love them. Like, in fact, if like he's like
Ed,
if you look
right?
Ed Kowalczyk, like
Uh-huh.
a lot of people used to say that I look like him for some reason. If you look at his picture, like in his bald head, and look at mine, like I guess that's people thought I looked like him for some reason.
That's the chick from Handmaid's Tale, right?
But I like stuff like that, like Live, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Do you remember them?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like those bands had like way more hits than people even remember now. And
Peter
like those bands are
Gabriel.
still playing, like Gin Blossoms. Remember Gin Blossoms? All those bands.
He was, crap.
Hey Jealousy. Gin Blossoms saying Hey Jealousy.
Yeah, whose kid is he, though? Dylan's kid? Isn't he
No,
a
that's
Dylan?
Wallflowers.
Oh, that's Wallflowers.
That's the Wallflowers.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Two
Beck-
different flowers.
Beck is a Scientologist.
Oh wow.
You know who else is a Scientologist, Frenzy?
Who?
That show you
Tom
like,
Cruise?
Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah? The chick?
The main chick, Elizabeth
Moss.
She's a Scientologist.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Huh. Weezer, were you a fan of Weezer ever?
I kind of like them. I saw them twice when I was in high school. No, once in high school, and then I think once in college. I saw them open for Live. No, I saw them twice open for Live, and they were terrible live. Weezer was terrible live.
Yeah, I
when
saw Weezer at the
them.
State Fair.
And I
They
was
were
really
terrible, too.
disappointed because I'm like, oh man, like I really wanted to see them, and they sounded like crap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I like some of their songs.
Yeah, they're kind of like, it was like hipster before hipster was a thing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. In one of my other, like when I was growing up and stuff, like in high school or whatever, I was a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like I remember I went to a couple of Lollapaloozas, like the third and fourth Lollapalooza. When they used to be the touring festival, and the fourth one, I believe it was when Smashing Pumpkins headlined. It was basically the last two bands were the Beastie Boys and then Smashing Pumpkins. And I remember sitting outside all day long, waiting and waiting and waiting for Smashing Pumpkins. And they came on, and they played 8 songs flawlessly. They sounded so awesome. And then they tried to play the next song, and they could not get through this song. They tried like several times. They left the stage, came back, tried to play it again, still fucked it up. And then they said, we're leaving, bye. And they left. And I was like, oh my God, I just waited like 8 hours to see this band. And I was like, oh man, probably more than that at that point. And they were terrible. And I saw them in Tampa when I was in college. And again, they sounded terrible. And this was like one of my favorite bands.
Oh, that sucks.
Those like the Weezer and Smashing Pumpkins are like the only two bands that I legitimately went to go see that I thought sounded like terrible. I don't know.
You're
I was
gonna be
really disappointed.
You're gonna be kind of jealous because Smashing Pumpkins did a free concert downtown Minneapolis, July 1998, and I was there, and it was like
Oh, wow.
insanity, like
Yeah.
across from the Target Center, and it was just like people were climbing on light poles, and it was just like this free. They just announced it, and
Oh,
it was
my
the year
God,
after I
that's
graduated
awesome.
high school, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure it was awesome. Oh man.
But I hated,
Yeah,
Billy Corgan back then because of his his connection with what's her face, Courtney Love, because I was like a huge Nirvana fan. So I was like,
Oh, yeah, me too.
She killed Kurt.
Yeah.
Billy had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Convinced.
it's like, it's really sad. Like, if you think about it, like, I'm trying to do my part as a parent and expose my kids to like real music. So we take them to these concerts and stuff. But then I've taken, my kids like Linkin Park and stuff like that, and they like some of these other bands. And I was like, yeah. So we went to go see them, or I'll show them. Like the other night, I turned on Nirvana Unplugged. Remember that event, like on MTV?
Yeah.
And every single person that they're like, oh, what are they doing now? Dead. Like, killed themselves, this and that. Oh, here's the Cranberries. Remember the Cranberries? Oh, well, she has a good
dead.
voice. What happened to her? Dead. Like, every single person.
I know.
It's like, yeah, I don't get it.
And there's so many of those ones that were the 27 Club, you know? Like, so many.
You can't be... It's rare for somebody to be able to be that talented and that, rare of a talent unless you're fucked up in some way.
Yeah.
You can't just be a normal, average dude and put out the kind of work that some of these amazing people have put out, whether it's music or art, fucking painting or engineering, or, there's a brilliant actor or whatever it is.
Yeah. But there's something to say about musicians from back then that you knew were fucked up on drugs, and like you knew, like, it doesn't mean that I wanted to do drugs, but if that's your creative outlet, I guess. I mean, I'm a fan no matter what, where you have like these pop stars now where it's like, they're doing coke and they're doing a bunch of shit, and there's no acknowledgement of that because they don't get caught.
Well, music today is an algorithm. Most of it.
And
a lot of music
it's
today
a lot of
is
editing and added bullshit.
It's a predetermined template for how to put out a top 40 song that's going to get a bunch of radio plays, and there's little actual instrumental talent involved. Everything's done on computers.
Well, yeah.
There's definitely voice talent. There's, a lot of these people out here that are making music today have great voices. Not all of them. Some of
but how much of that is edited?
But there are still great singers. But none of them, they don't all know how to play instruments. They don't have a band.
Right. Bring back
their own songs.
MTV
They don't write their own
Unplugged.
lyrics.
Yes.
Bring back MTV Unplugged, and then we'll see who actually is a good singer and a good musician. Because
we watched The Cure Unplugged as well the other night.
Yeah, and there's some that don't do a great job on Unplugged because of whatever reason, and that's fine. Just as the same as you go to see maybe one of your favorite bands and they perform like shit on in real life. But it's just the whole MTV Unplugged thing for me is just, it's so raw, and it's just like, this is who you are, like you don't get to really hide a whole lot.
So do you only do like punk rock for your label, Think Fast Records? Are you completely against any other type of genre of music being under your label?
Like I said, we've been doing some records that are more like metal records as well. But the short answer, not really against, but also it's for the benefit of the bands that we work with, that we don't go too far off of the punk, hardcore, metal genres, because it's a service to any other band that comes to our label. We have people that follow our label that like the bands that we put out. We know how to market those bands. We know how to promote those bands. And if we were to get a violinist, whatever, I wouldn't know how to really market that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like
nobody knows how to market a
waste.
violinist, Larry.
Yeah.
Nobody can market a violinist.
So basically, with the bands and things that you group or choose to work with, they're getting not only the label, but they're getting kind of, this is your niche and this is kind of the genre that you care about and that's important to you. So you get that kind of extra little something.
A focus on a particular marketplace.
That's good. I mean, you could be totally broad with it.
It's the same thing as any business that you own. Like, the key of running a business is knowing your customer and knowing your product. And so this is what we know. Ryan O'Connor, who's my partner with Think Fast. We both own the label together, and he was in a touring band. I used to tour with a band, and we used to book tours for bands. And we were friends with a lot of these people, and so this is who we know. This is how we know how to get out your record. Again, like we can't. We're not going to put out a boy band. We're not going to put out a violinist because it's a disservice to them, and it's not going to work for them either.
Right.
This is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go. Go.
No. So just having that niche, like you were saying, is a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's how we basically have done stuff.
Well, and I think that it also has to say something about you kind of have this personal connection too. You know what I mean? Like it's
right.
You're only doing what you know that you do best. That's going to make other people be successful, and you don't want anything other than that for them. Not just because you want to make money or be whatever, but you actually want to actually see them be successful and succeed and be.
Larry's trying to get rich.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. That's exactly right, Frenzy. Like that's exactly. And so, we've had fun doing the label, and it's been around since 2001, and so it's we used to do a lot more each year with a lot of newer bands. Now we mostly kind of put out vinyl versions of different either classic records or bands that have new albums out. We put out their vinyl, and that's just what we do right now. It's and we had that following of people that have been supporting us for years, and we don't want to disappoint them either. So we want to put out records that, and it's kind of like almost a reputation too. Like,
yeah,
if the label's a punk hardcore label, if you put out some lame band or a band that's like completely out of the norm of the label, it kind of ruins the brand.
Yeah.
So, and that's a big part of it as well. I don't expect, a pop punk label like a Blink-182 or Newfound Glory type label to put out, I don't know, like a Norwegian death metal band,
Right.
So.
Your label's known for what you put out, and so you've developed kind of relationships with other people that are like, hey, even if it's someone that you've never heard of before that's in a similar genre of something that you'd put out there, that's friends with someone that you maybe did put a record out with. Like, hey, you should check out this label. And then they're like, oh, they have a Norwegian harmonica band? No, thanks.
It sounds
yeah, exactly.
It sounds to me that your label needs to check its white privilege, and it has a serious lack of diversity.
Oh my god.
See, okay, so Sarge is going to be mad that I'm bringing this up, but I can't help it because you're a music fan, so it's got to happen. I'm sorry.
What?
But have you heard of the Kanye West song?
No, stop it.
What?
I told you before.
I told you that I was going to ask him.
We are not playing it.
I don't know anything about Kanye West.
How dare
Oh, can you play it, please?
Son of a bitch.
Just for a second.
God.
Play it.
What?
Play it.
See?
Oh, so I'm getting outvoted here.
This song was released a couple weeks ago, and it was just like, you don't have to play the whole thing, just play his clip. But the beginning part of it is kind of gospel-y. Maybe it could be from like the 1970s, like on
like some
vinyl.
Lauryn Hill, Fugees
Yeah, like just
thing.
kind of soulish, and then it goes into this weird Kanye West thing.
How long? This must be the beginning part. Here's the like Lauryn Hill, Fugees type part.
To see the hang-ups we have today, that we need to strive for liberty. Lift yourself up on your feet. Let's get it on. Lift yourself up on your feet. Let's get it on.
Can you stop this, please?
Yeah. Okay, stop and then fast
Oh
forward
my
to
god,
the
no
part.
thanks.
Okay, so this
That's-
is called.
that's
It's
the
called
beginning
Lift
of
Yourself.
it.
That's the beginning. Now wait for the next part.
So here's this is where Kanye comes in after that like Fugees type stuff.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Just buckle up, buddy.
Hey, I would like to, before I play this, I would like to apologize, Larry, because this will get stuck in your head.
I will not like to apologize.
Lindsay keeps fucking singing it like every night, and I tell her to stop. She keeps doing it. Partly because I'm sure it's stuck in her head too, and part because I think she's fucking with me.
Okay.
And I think it's funny.
Here we go. I think this is it. I think this is it right here.
Whoopie dee scoop. Scoop dee dee whoop. Whoop dee scoop dee poop. Poop dee scoop dee whoop. Whoopie dee scoop whoop poop. Poop dee dee whoop scoop. Poop. Poop. Scoop dee dee whoop. Whoop dee dee
Oh my
scoop.
God.
It's real.
You know what the saddest part about that is?
What?
Scoop dee dee
That,
whoop.
like you just said, people will spend $200-$300 to see him in concert.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what
know.
I'm saying. Like, what?
He's lost his mind, right? I mean, he's crazy now, right?
Yeah.
The Kardashians have completely taken over his brain and
That's
his
that's the
soul.
kind of song that like one of the Kardashians would write because they're so talentless. Yeah.
I don't know if they wrote it. I think they may have. I think they broke him. I think Kanye's
I think he's
broken
addicted
man.
to opioids, and he's off the rails. Like
I don't know.
I mean, look at.
We were talking about this earlier
Yeah.
before the show tonight about how the curse of the Kardashians and how it destroys any man
Yeah.
who gets too deep into that family.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye,
Odom.
that Lamar Odom, fucking Bruce Jenner,
Luckily, Reggie Bush got away.
Shapiro. That I'm sure he died earlier than he should have.
Their dad died.
Right.
Yeah,
Their own father.
But
Rob-
think about this. Listen.
OJ got off.
Kanye, they were in a studio, $1 million studio,
Singing
and they
about
laid
poop.
this track down.
Yeah.
And everyone there thought it was a good idea to put out.
Yeah, absolutely they
and
did.
people are buying it.
Nobody
It's
questions
crazy.
Kanye.
He made a 9-hour version of it so that you
I
can
don't
just.
think he made it. Somebody else did.
Well,
just
somebody did.
People put that shit on a loop.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
there's
that's basically
been
all it
major
is.
loops of it. But he's like, I played it for my son, and he was just laughing his ass off. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
this is like, I'm playing this for you because this is not music. Just so you know. Like,
It's-
you're
yeah.
laughing about it and you think it's funny. This is not music.
It's like we played it when we had Cull on, and his analysis of it was that it's basically designed to be a meme because that's ultimately what it obviously is,
Yeah.
Right.
ultimately has become is a fucking meme.
Which
But-
makes him a genius, honestly.
Exactly.
Well, it
that's
does,
what I
and
was
that's what
saying.
and
I'm
that's
like-
what Cullen said too.
I'm like, is Kanye certifiably insane now, or is he actually a genius? Is this all calculated? Does he know
Both.
exactly what he's doing?
Yeah,
It's hard to
he
tell.
Probably does.
It's hard to tell. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe it's one of those, you look at like a Howard Hughes type dude, a guy who is obviously, there were some things wrong upstairs, but he was still a genius, and he invented and provided and contributed so many things
I know.
that we have today. Like, we've all seen the movie. We've seen The Aviator.
Leonardo
The
DiCaprio.
guy was insane. I love Howard Hughes, but the guy was crazy. He was batshit crazy. Maybe Kanye is the Howard Hughes of rap music.
Yeah. I hope I never hear that again, though. Please
I
don't
hope
play
you
that
don't
again.
either. It's a curse.
That's the most Kanye West I've ever listened to in my life.
It's terrible.
Poopity scoop.
It's hilarious. It's funny the first time you hear it, and then you never want to hear it again.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's
So
too.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I feel like you needed to be exposed to this. You don't have to like it.
Thanks a lot, Frenzy. Appreciate
Sorry.
that.
I mean,
It's like a small scar on your soul. It's not quite
Yeah.
visible, but it's gonna stick with you.
I kind of. It's been weird. I've kind of been sharing it with like random people. Be like, "Have you listened to this shit? Like, this is so crazy."
Yeah, you're infecting the population. We need to put a stop to it.
My neighbor across the street, Rachel. Hey, I sent it to her. She was like, "Thank you," and I was like, "I don't know if you want me to. You don't really need to thank me because you obviously haven't listened to it yet."
You
but
just burned a bridge.
yeah, we're enemies now.
Oh my god.
So, Larry, what do you got coming up here for your comedy future and Think Fast Records? What do we have to look forward to?
Well, just to finish up with Think Fast, we just put out a record on Record Store Day for this band called Strapping Young Lad. They were like it was kind of like a reissue of one of their records. and so that came out on Record Store Day. And for as far as the comedy, basically we've been pretty busy. Like one of the things I've been doing a lot is like I have a group. That was my dog. That was my dog.
That's awesome. I knew it was.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Is he okay?
That sounds like an ogre or something from a horror movie, like some
Yeah.
kind of monster.
He was being the
I'm walking,
what's the?
I'm walking him down the street, and like people see me walking down the street, and they hear that noise. They think it's me, like
What's
doing that. I'm like, I have to like yell out. That was my dog.
Wow.
Like I don't want people to think that I'm like this like scumbag guy that's like yakking down the street like that. But
He's like the dog from the wolf thing from the Neverending Story. What's that thing called?
I don't remember the name of it.
The
but
Gamork. It's the Gamork.
He almost kind of sounded like the Cowardly Lion a little bit too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Or Falcor.
Hey, here's a trivia question. Do you know the band that sang the song, the Neverending Story theme song? What 80s band was that?
Turn around.
Hold on.
I have it on my phone.
Don't tell me.
The Neverending Story.
Hold on.
And then they also had, I'll give you a hint, their other hit song before that was called Too Shy. It went too shy, hush, hush, eye to eye.
I totally know that song too. I have the Neverending Story movie. I have the DVD, and then I also have the soundtrack. Oh,
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yes.
Limal. Face.
Still way better than Kanye West.
Bastion.
Yeah.
Bastion.
What is it? Limal?
You know, it's actually Kaja Gugu. The name of the band is Kaja Gugu.
What?
Limal was one of their singers.
Kasha Gugu? Sounds made up,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, that's the name of the band, Kaja Gugu. Look up the song called Too Shy. That was their big
I know
hit.
that song. Hush, hush, eye to eye.
Shy. Kaka. That. Why?
No, Kaja Gugu.
How is that?
K-A-J.
What the fuck?
Gugu.
What does that even mean? Kaja Gugu.
It's like a weird.
Yeah, this is it.
This does not sound familiar.
It's
Their
a
name
big
is-
intro, though.
their name is-
The intro is wicked long.
Look at that. That's a dude, right?
Yeah, listen to the chorus. The chorus is cool.
He has. What would
Yes.
you call that? What would you call that hair?
Bing,
Look at his hair. He definitely. He's.
yeah. Shy, shy, hush, hush, eye to eye.
Song's awesome.
Shy, shy, hush, hush,
Who is this?
eye to eye.
Is that a dude too?
Shy, shy,
scary-
hush, hush, eye to eye.
The
Yeah.
scary dude.
Shy, shy.
Look at the guy in the back.
Hush.
Okay. The guy in the back.
They're all dudes.
The guy in the back with the like white Doc Brown fro.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a mix between Doc Brown and the bad guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Coincidentally, played by the same guy, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd's amazing. Is he dead?
Unbelievable.
Basically, Christopher Lloyd is plays the guitar in Kaja Gugu.
Yeah, that's
Apparently.
probably a fact. I mean, we should just probably tell everyone that.
I have to.
Other-
I have to respectfully disagree with you. This song freaks me out.
It is amazing.
Especially because I'm watching the video.
Yeah, don't watch the video.
You've never roller skated to that song in the 80s.
Yeah,
then.
right?
I don't-
Snowballed to it.
Maybe.
Skated backwards.
I don't recall
with real
this.
roller
Yeah.
skates.
It's bad. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Did you know
Yeah.
that there's Neverending Story 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Have
Do
you
you
tried to
remember-
watch it recently? It's not good.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up really. Have you ever
No,
tried
have
watching
you watched
Flight
it
of the
recently?
Navigator?
Now, how much
Ugh.
pot did you smoke before you watched it? Because you either have to be a child in the late 80s or you have to be high on weed to be able to watch the Never Ending
Well, when it was the
Story.
80s, I
As
pretty
an
much
adult.
watched it like every weekend.
Yeah.
I
It was
switched
always
off.
on TV. It was
Yeah,
like
it was
the
always on
Goonies. Like the
TV.
Goonies are like always on TV. Like Never Ending Story was like on like every other day. It seemed like.
Like, I remember watching it.
Falcor!
I remember watching it when it was a miniseries on television.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a movie. It was like, it's on ABC at 7 o'clock on Saturday night or Sunday night. And then you were traumatized watching with your parents.
Let's get ripped and watch
Yeah.
Never Ending Story. We have it on DVD, don't we?
Yeah, I have it on DVD.
Let's do that. You down? Tonight?
I
Tonight?
don't know. I always cry during the show.
Is it sad? I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Well, when the horse dies.
He has a horse?
Yeah,
God, I need to watch
Atreyu's
that
the
again.
kid. The horse is Valtrex. No, Valtrex. That's like a herpes
Valtrex.
medication.
Falcor.
No, Falcor's the dragon.
Oh, is it? That dragon's crazy. It's like
He's like a dragon dog.
it's a dog dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, dragon.
The
dog.
horse is
a doggin.
Ortex, I think. Right?
Oh my god.
You're thinking of like
No.
pharmaceutical creams
Nope.
and salves.
Nope. Horse.
You're thinking of it's all vagina cream that you're thinking of.
No. I've never had to use vagina cream. Thank you.
The commercial should have the
it's,
Never Ending Story theme then.
Turn around.
Artex.
Apply the
Artex.
vagina cream.
He dies in the swamp of sadness. It's sad. And Atreyu cries, and it makes me cry too. Every time.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's no Edward Scissorhands.
let's make a bet right
Oh,
now.
Edward
Hey.
Scissorhands. That's so
Hey,
good
Frenzy,
too.
I'm gonna make a wager with you right now. I bet before we die, so we got like 30 some years probably. I bet you they're gonna try to remake Neverending Story at some point.
Of course they are.
Oh, of course.
They're gonna redo it, but I bet you they can make it badass if they did it like Lord of the Rings style, if, like Peter Jackson or whatever that dude's name is did Neverending Story. That could be pretty cool.
I'm surprised they didn't like do it when Jaden Smith was like a little younger, like when he ruined Karate Kid. They could have just done Neverending Story with that too.
You didn't like Jackie Chan as Mr. Miyagi?
No,
No.
no. But you know what? You know, like you have like this ADD or ADHD society, whatever, and I guess I'm part of that now because like I remember like being so excited to tell my kids like, all right, we're gonna watch Karate Kid. This movie's like so exciting. It's like the best movie. And then I put it on and it's like 90 minutes of like him walking on the beach and like or whatever. It's like
The original?
It's like so slow. Like
Yeah.
watch it. Watch the original with Ralph Macchio. It's like it's hard to get through now.
They're
There's like no
bad.
action.
Yeah, they're bad because
Yeah.
our attention spans were way longer back then.
The only reason why I liked Karate Kid was for the music usually, and the second one, it was when they were fighting in that temple, and it was the
Temple of
Peter
Doom, right?
Gabriel
The Temple of
song.
Doom.
Yeah.
When Ralph Macchio was fighting in the Temple of Doom.
He
had
was
to- he had
fighting
to
like
fight Chuck
no,
Norris.
they actually went to Japan because Mr. Miyagi had to go there.
And Indiana Jones was there.
No,
Oh.
he had to go there because his mom was sick, and so he caught up with his like long lost love, and then
Yeah, see?
her companion was like the head of the like Japanese kung fu people, whatever.
Yeah, we just don't have the patience.
And he was
for
used to
those
be his
movies
best
these
friend when
days.
he was younger, and now they hate each
How
other.
do you remember this?
Yeah.
Because I watched them all like 100 times.
But people don't
The
have
Glory of Love is a song.
People don't
Yeah, I
have
remember that song.
Yeah.
Power of Love. No. Power of
The
Love?
Glory
No,
of
that's
Love.
That's
That's
Back to the
Celine
Future.
Dion.
That's Back to the Future. That's the Power of Love. Yeah, that's the Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah.
Did that Power of Love.
Yeah, but
theme
so is
song.
the Celine Dion song. That's weird that they both have the same name.
I think they just broke up Huey Lewis. I think I just saw something after all these years.
sad.
What?
I think I just saw that.
They had their
Don't
time.
you think their one song is the TVs and the microwave ovens? Like, why is there a song about that? That's weird.
I don't know.
TVs and microwave ovens.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Look at them.
Do you like? Yeah.
Microwave ovens.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, what is that about? That's so weird.
Oh, shit. Okay. I think we need to wrap this up.
You looked at me like I was crazy that there was a song about microwave
now I know what
ovens.
you're talking about, like, what the
Yeah.
Okay. Larry, let our listeners know where they can find you online. Your comedy and your record label.
All right, let's do the record label is thinkfastrecords.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Think Fast Records. For my comedy, I got a lot of stuff coming up. I've been doing like a lot of shows. We have basically a comedy group. Myself, Frank Del Pizzo, and Christopher Coles. We go around. We tour. Like we play a lot of shows as the Funny Fellas. So we have like a bunch of shows coming up. Next Wednesday, May 23rd, we're going to be at McCurdy's Comedy Theater in Sarasota. It's going to be our first time, performing as a group there. It's basically three of us. We're all completely different stand-up acts, but the show together is a lot of fun. And so come check it out. We are actually on Facebook at Funny Fellas, and on Instagram, Funny Fellas Comedy 239. But personally, if you go to LarryVenturino.com, that's my website. I have a lot of shows coming up. I'm going to be at Laughing later this month for my showcase. On the 30th, I'm going to be there featuring for Quinn Dale. In June, I have a lot of shows coming up with Steve Byrne, Dat Fan, a bunch of stuff coming up at Laughing. Instagram at Larry Venturino, Twitter, Larry Venturino, Facebook, Larry Venturino. I hope people follow and stay in touch and, check out my comedy. I really appreciate the support that you guys always give me, so it's a lot of fun being on here with you guys.
We love you, man.
We love having you on.
You're family. You're family when it comes to
thank
us.
you.
You're a good friend. And you've, the Laughing Comedy Cafe it seems like that place is just bumping. And, and obviously you're a big part of that, and so that's
cool.
That's cool. And me and friends have been talking too. Like we want to get down to. We have to get down to Florida at some point here, and meet up with you. Go see some shows.
That'd be great.
At Laugh-In and soak up some sun. We'll probably have to do it in the winter when it sucks here in Minnesota.
Right.
Avoid Hurricane AC/DC. When it goes through.
And you can do the podcast from down here too, or something.
Oh, for sure.
That'd be super fun.
Yeah. So that's definitely in our plans for the future. Is to come
that'd be
down
great.
there and have some fun. So, but hey, man, thank you so much for coming back on the show, man. It's been well overdue.
Oh well, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. And it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait a year and a half to have you back on.
Yeah,
again.
this was way too long.
Oh, we can talk about Kajagoogoo again. I want you to, Sarge. I want you to familiarize yourself with the entire Kajagoogoo catalog. That's all we'll talk about for an hour and a half.
We can have a quiz. And we can play a game show.
If you challenge me, I am prone to accept challenges. If you challenge me to listen to all their top hits, I will do it.
I'm going to try and get a guest from the Neverending Story to be on the show at the same time, so we can do like a co-guest thing.
Oh my God! Imagine that.
I'm working on it right now. Actually,
the main dude's dead though. I think
Atreyu is still alive. Bastion is still alive.
No,
and the Empress.
Bastion's dead.
No, he's not.
What about the kid?
I'm pretty sure Bastion's
the kid. No.
So
he resides in Los Angeles. He's a successful photographer, printer, teacher, and author.
No. Who's the dude who was like
Atreyu? That's Atreyu.
Yeah, he's dead, right?
No, he's not dead.
Somebody dead.
The chick is alive.
Maybe it was from the second one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out though. I'll get Felkor.
Do you think anybody? Oh yeah. Do you think anybody's still alive from Kajagoogoo?
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah, they all are.
Let's get one of those dudes.
Yeah,
that's right too.
Tell them
they would be so psyched if you got them on here. The fact that anyone would be talking to them right now, I think they'd be super psyched.
All right,
All right, we're gonna get them.
All right,
dude, you're gonna be our
Lamal. Get Lamal.
We're gonna get Kajagoogoo on, and you're gonna be our guest host.
Yeah, you're gonna be our host.
That'd be amazing.
So you'll be on the episode too.
And we can do it like Skype
they had
video.
VH1 would have like Bands Reunited or something like that on VH1, and they did Kajagoogoo. And if I remember correctly, they weren't able to get every member of the band back together, because I think a couple of them were too shy. Look at that one.
Shy.
No, but they couldn't get back. They got a couple of the guys back, and I obviously it was phenomenal. So
you got to either
yeah.
get the lead singer or the Christopher Lloyd dude that's in the back, the guitar. One of those two dudes. If anyone can get somebody from Kajagoogoo, it's Frenzy. So, Frenzy, I
will get
challenge
them.
you.
I will get them. I've also been trying to get the kind of, I don't know, people that run and own Pachyderm Studios in Minnesota where In Utero was recorded.
Oh, wow.
When Nirvana recorded it
Is
there.
it still the same people, though?
It is. For sure.
Same people as back when Nirvana was there?
Yep, it's the
sure?
same owners. Absolutely.
Oh, you looked it up?
It's a small studio.
Wow, that's incredible.
That'd be cool if it was the same
But they
people.
don't like me right now, so I need to
Or are you talking shit
I need to go there and wear some flannel. And
why don't they like you?
Well, no, they just haven't responded. Like most people, like Dat Fan, like originally thought I was a robot. They don't think I'm a real people. No, I don't talk shit.
You talk shit. You say a lot of racist stuff.
Yeah, I'm super rude.
Yeah.
But I would love to get them on just to hear, like, because I've seen a couple documentaries and they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They talk about whatever. Anything Nirvana related,
awesome.
I'm obsessed with.
Kajagoogoo!
Yeah, I was just telling my kids about like Nirvana tonight too, because we were watching a hockey game. We were watching the hockey playoffs tonight. It was like the Capitals in Tampa Bay or whatever.
Yeah.
And Smells Like Teen Spirit came on in the background.
Oh.
And like my older son was like, oh, I love that song. And I was like, that song like changed music when it came out. I said they were in Europe, and that album came out. So they went to Europe and they were like kind of still unknown for the most part. And then Nevermind came out, and that was the first single, obviously. And when they came back from Europe, they were like the biggest band in the country.
Yeah, and they hated playing that song at the end too. It was like it was like Kurt's like,
oh really?
I fucking hate playing this song.
You know who should, who we should get on? We should get the baby from the Smells Like Teen Spirit album.
That kid?
Dude,
yeah.
I saw you can look him up. I just saw a special about him.
Really?
Yeah, you can definitely find him. He just it was like the it was some anniversary of the time that album came out. I can't remember which anniversary it was, 25 years or something like that.
30 now.
And he reenacted the video, the picture of the album cover.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, so that's recent. Like,
it had to be within the last couple of years because it was. When did Nevermind come out? It was. I know
91.
it was. Yeah, I know it was.
You could be like, hey, dude, remember that time?
It was 2016. It was 25 years later.
Be like, remember that time when you were like 6 months old and your parents threw you into a pool for a Nirvana
and
cover
it's kind of
art?
creepy because he kind of looks like he could be like posing for Kurt with his long hair.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, get him. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I want to get him. I want to get the realtor that was like trying to sell his house, his like childhood house. They had this childhood home for sale. Just so happened to be like on the 25th anniversary too. Like, oh, we're gonna sell his house.
Oh yeah, that wasn't an accident at all.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Also, the kid that played Problem Child?
Yes! Wasn't there a Problem Child 2 too?
There's
2 as well?
Is he still alive?
Yeah, there's like 2 and 3 or something like that.
Oh,
he actually used to work for, or he helped out some like punk record label in California, Amoeba Records, I believe it was. But he's still around doing stuff too.
I forgot about that show, that movie, those movies.
Oh, wasn't John Ritter in that?
Yeah.
He was the dad.
Who is the mom?
Well, it was a stepmom because the mom died, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Redheaded chick. She.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Meryl? No, it wasn't Meryl Streep.
No.
Hair.
She hasn't done anything in a while.
Caitlyn Jenner, was it her? No, it wasn't.
It was Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, that's it. It's Kathy Griffin. Yeah, and then also the dude from A Christmas Story. You know, the bully.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still around too. Like someone like that would be cool for your show. Let's just talk about who should be on your show.
Yeah.
So many people.
All right, it's time to pull this train to the station. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting late. It's even later there. It's almost fucking midnight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Larry, my friend,
brother,
we love you.
Love you too.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out.
We got to have you back on way sooner than a year and a half from now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, Follow Larry on all his social media. Think Fast Records, LarryVenturino.com.
Check him out at Laughing Comedy Cafe.
If you are in the Florida area, definitely Laughing Comedy Cafe.
Fort Myers area, or even relatively close to that. Go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you so much
Thank
again,
you.
brother, for sharing your time with us tonight.
No problem. I actually just gave you the peace sign and you can't even see me. So that was kind of cool.
That is
All
cool.
right.
Thanks,
right.
Larry.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you later, guys.
Talk soon. Bye.
All right, bye.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Wrapping up this episode with an outro.
Wrapping it up like a sausage.
Fuck this shit, I am out.
Yep.
We are out.
Out.
That was Larry Venturino. We love that dude. Comedian.
We do love that dude. Florida, plus he can still live in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, we always have a good time with him. It's been way long overdue since we had him on.
It has been, but also from the first time we had him on, we were legitimately friends from there on out.
Yeah. It's
and
not
here
like
on
we
out,
lost
too.
contact or anything.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you to our sponsors for this episode.
Yeah, Comics Watching Comics.
On
available.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, available. Seasons 1 through 5 are on there now. Seasons 6 and 7 are coming soon.
Go
check it
follow
out.
it. Become an Amazon Prime member.
Binge watch that
Let's do it.
shit.
There's actually a lot of good shit on Amazon Prime. Let me turn this down a little bit. I'm going to put it down. I'll put it at 2. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. Like, there's a lot of good shit. We have Amazon Prime, not only to watch Comics Watching Comics, but a bunch of other good shit that's on there. I know we're not sponsored by Amazon Prime, but a lot of the documentaries and stuff that we watch are on there.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
That's some good stuff. And, yeah, we're not going to sponsor Amazon Prime.
Well, no.
Also, sponsor this episode, the Sportsbook Box Office Podcast.
Yes, hosted by Kevin Goatee and Jeffrey Paul, two New York City comedians talking shit about movies, busting each other's balls, sports, all the things that dudes talk about. You can find them on all the social podcast platforms. Check them out. Like it. Love them.
Listen to it. Do it. All right. Coming up on the Sarge Approved Podcast, we have... What do we have?
None of your business.
Should we not tell anybody?
No, we're not going to tell anybody.
No?
No.
Okay. All right. Ha. Frenzy says you don't get to know who's coming up next.
Ha.
But we always have good guests. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so guess you're going to have to wait and see. We're going to play this episode out with a song by Ocho called Anybody.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a new one.
I like it.
Yeah, enjoy.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you. We always appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Later, fuckers.
Woo. Woo. Ouch. Yeah. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Mess up you with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Mess up here with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now. Beamer swerve, hit the curve. Talk tough, he get murked. Couple niggas doing life. Couple niggas in the dirt. Text your bitch like with the word. Serena Williams, I serve. Bitches coming by the herd. I keep them wet like they surf. I've been ill since birth. Lil' ho, you super thirst. Every day I'm fresh to death. I'm pulling up in a hearse. Fuck yeah, and I'm a worth. I've been a god on the turf. I got a couple different jobs. You know I'm always doing work. Hit a chick on Snapchat, cause I know she can't screenshot. Fake niggas let her eavesdrop. My heart colder than a freeze pop. I'm dope, bitch, fuck a detox. C-op, my niggas spin a block. Headshots be the best shots. Peel off when the body drop. Your chick sweeter than a lollipop. In other words, you a sucker. Posted up out on West Meth. Probably balling up a Duggar. Lethal weapon, any Glover. Only cuffing after summer. Oh, that's your fucking girl though? I skirt off with a number. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Master P with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Master P with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now. Niggas be dying to flex. I'd rather just send me a check. Mention my name in your verse. On mamas, I'm right at your neck. Young nigga, straight from the jacks. These pussies out here just be soft in the sex. Been had my stripes in the hood. Lil' homie, I'm good. You know that I'm full of that rag. Fight for respect. Take nothing less. Let it to Cali relieve the stress. Word to my flow. Bitch, I'm a pro. All the way up cause I'm feeling blessed. Maybe I need me a boat. Maybe I need me a jet. Shorty get super soaked. In other words, mama stay wet. Casino popping, placing bets. Car accounting, do the deck. David Blaine, my finesse. Magic wand with the left. I'm not the nigga you should press. Eject a pussy like a ref. Steady buckets in the game. Fade away, no time left. Catch him slipping at his bedtime. Couple niggas doing fed time. Couple hitters, they on standby. Cautious niggas on a shit slide. Haters always trying to dick ride. I ain't tripping, bitch, I been fly. Butane on my membrane. Got a dragon flow who I spit fire. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Master P with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Master P with the flow. I swear nigga got no limits now. I've been ballin' for a minute. Whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now.